Hey everybody, this is John. Welcome to the free video. Tesla's at it again. This is one that triggered another buy signal today, a very specific setup. It triggered it, we texted it out. And on this one, we're just looking for a move up to 261. So we want to flip these out at $12.50. And then for the 257 half calls that expire next week, we're actually looking for a little bit of a short squeeze into earnings, not planning on holding through earnings. Okay, so there's Tesla. We've got some similar setups happening here in Priceline as well. We are using this pullback to the 21 period moving average to sell put credit spreads the week prior earnings. Okay, so we don't want to sell these we want to sell these for expiration next week. Those look good there. And from along those lines, what are some other ones that are setting up that I like? Well, we've got a lot of earnings this week, and I'm looking for NVIDIA to do something fairly similar to what Facebook did. And if you guys remember, Facebook actually went and made new highs on the day of earnings, okay? And it kind of priced in its earnings. And then from there, after earnings, it was kind of flat. I'm looking for NVIDIA to do the same thing. Now, to be clear, that does not mean I want to sell any calls, but I am looking for something like this. So you can see that Facebook spiked to new highs, but then once the earnings came out, it kind of sold off. So with NVIDIA, there is that risk of it could just keep on going higher. Because I mean, look, this is a smaller cap company. It's on the forefront of technology for self-driving cars and all this kind of fun stuff. So I wouldn't want to, here an iron condor would have worked good, right? But for NVIDIA, my plan is to, first of all, any options that we buy to sell the day of earnings, which is Thursday, okay? But then from there, looking at selling put credit spreads and potentially an iron fly. I think it's one of those two where it could just suck the premium out of everybody's pocket. From here, I'm continuing to keep an eye on the financials, i.e. XLF. We've got this huge consolidation here. We've got the squeeze and really just waiting to see which way this is going to go. There's been a lot of sellers coming in at the highs here, and you can see this pattern playing out with Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, et cetera, et cetera. If we can chew through all the resistance there, this is going to take off and be the next leg higher. You can see right now on the multiple time frame analysis, we are locked and loaded. We got the squeeze, we got the buy signal. So we definitely want to take a look at some of the financials going into this week, including JP Morgan. You can see it's got a similar pattern there, and Goldman Sachs. All right, so definitely keeping an eye on those. And then last but not least, it's just being able to kind of step back and look at the bigger picture here in terms of the currencies and kind of how they're moving with the markets. And if we look at the yen futures here, the yen in general, when the yen has been going down, stocks have been going up. And you can see here recently, the yen has been going higher. And frankly, it's this thing was just getting destroyed. So it's kind of an oversold bounce. But during the time that the yen has been moving higher, stocks have been mostly sideways. Okay. Now, what we've seen in the past is that when the yen goes higher like this, stocks, actually feel a lot more down pressure. But stocks have been holding their own. And so the idea here is if the yen can roll over and sell off, we'd expect stocks to explode higher. But so that's just with the yen. But what about like the other currencies that are out there? What other assets are kind of keeping the stock market in check? And that's stuff that we want to pay attention to. All right, and for those of you that are unaware, Raghi is going to be doing a class on that's February 7th, which is Tuesday. Okay, so I'm doing this video right now. It's Monday, so that would be tomorrow night. But if you're watching this tomorrow, that would be tonight. But it's Tuesday, February 7th from 6 to 9 Central Time. Okay, and it's going to be followed with live trading on February 9th and February 10th. And she's got this fascinating setup that she's been talking about, and it's called shockwave setups: how to trade chain reactions in global currencies. Let's take a quick look at this. Now, we all know that since the election, things have been insane in both good and bad ways. But at the end of the day, when markets move, we want to be able to take advantage of them. All right. So in this particular class, Raghi is going to take her 28 years of studying currencies and the chain reactions. And by chain reaction, she means exactly that. When oil moves over here, that's going to impact the yen over here and CAD over here. And, if you're into trading the Norwegian currency, it's going to move that as well. And it also impacts stocks, and Ragi is the best at this. And she's going to be talking about how to find low-risk, high-reward setups, even within the extreme volatility, how to precisely target tomorrow's hot zones over 68% of the time. This is huge. How to avoid costly mistakes when trading volatile currency reactions. Now, keep in mind, if you don't trade currencies, currencies impact stocks, and when you get these correlations down, you can actually take signals off the euro, okay, or off the yen, and those will be and take those to trade stocks. Like, those signals will happen first, and then they'll flow into the stock market, which is kind of cool. How to cash in on reactions to policy shifts, such as NAFTA, Keystone Pipeline, the dollar, and more that are coming down. Ragi's 3 favorite tools for finding powerful setups in just about any chart and time frame, and then how she uses futures options to exploit chain reactions in stocks, currencies, and commodities. Now, it's also cool, if you guys know, if you guys have not done futures options, or if you're not familiar with those, you can do options on, there are ETFs that have options available that mimic nearly every currency and commodity out there, first off. But then also, too, it's also something that she'll be talking about there. So, and I think that's one thing to make clear. Sometimes people will say, oh, well, I don't trade currencies, so I guess this thing's not for me. Currencies run the world, and Ragi shows you how to essentially go look at the currencies, and if you want to trade currencies, great, because they're great to trade, but also how that spills over into the other markets so you understand what's going on. So her basic strategy class is just $197, and then she's also going to be doing 2 days of live trading, and that's just $397. And again, the idea here is that with this, you get this included for free as part of it, okay? So anyway, it'll be a lot of fun, and looking forward to seeing you guys at the class.